Hey, Dr. Bushman. So, to start out with my lesson, I am planning on starting with our name game exercise. So, I'll just practice that a little bit and I'll kind of tell you what else I'm doing to prepare for our lessons tomorrow. So, my plan is just to welcome the students on in as if they were just coming into class and ask them to take a seat next to the drums that we have available or any other instruments that we plan to set out. And then I'm guessing I'd probably just like to start out with an introduction, since I think we're thinking this is going to be like an introductory class. So I'd start off with the first lesson. So just introduce myself, maybe a few things about me. Otherwise, from there, I tell them, let's get into a little exercise before we start anything else. We're going to play a game called the name game. So, with the name game, I'm going to ask you a question. And you are to respond with the rhythm to your name while speaking it. So, if it were me being asked, what is your name? My name is Schneider. So, let's go over that. Let's start out with our next student over here, Bobby. All right, Bobby. What is your name? My name is Bobby. That's good. All right, so now what I'd like to do is I'd like to go around in a circle for a little bit. And we'll just keep practicing this. So then at that point, we'd go around in the circle doing the name game. And if I have time, or if Brendan would rather take this part and extend it in his next lesson, we'd like to do some extension on it where we have the other students repeat the rhythm that the one student was doing in response to what is your name. So in other words, what is your name? And then if we have a student like Bobby, my name is Bobby. And then I can reference to the rest of the group and they copy what Bobby did. So his name is Bobby. Just to also see if students are paying attention and are able to reciprocate the rhythms that they're hearing. Otherwise, after I feel like we got to know everybody pretty well, I would probably go into my lesson on the basics of Africa. So like facts, maps and worksheets, I'd probably hand those out and we'd probably go over them together. But for the sake of tomorrow's lesson, I think I just might hand those out and say, we'll be working on these consecutively throughout the next couple of days, but for time's sake, I want to make sure we get to as much like hands-on and not lecture stuff too much. So after that, my plan, if I have time, is to go into maybe the names of some of the instruments that are used in African drumming, and maybe to show a few videos about what they sound like, what they look like, how they're played. So between the name game, handing out all the worksheets, or maybe doing a very, very short lesson, and then going into some images or videos of all of the instruments that are used in African music. I think that would basically be the gist of my 15 minutes. But, yes, so that is my plan. If you have any other questions or feedback for me on this after you see this, I'd love to hear it. But otherwise, thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you enjoy our lessons that we have tomorrow. Thanks, Dr. Bushman.